Alright guys, we are back for another Gekishin Squadra video. Today, doing tier list, mid-season tier list. I haven't made one in quite a while, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looked like last time. With Goku and Daimaku up here, God Vegeta, God Goku at top of S. I made my arguments then. And now, right before Bulma comes out, actually, I'm recording this 2 days before Bulma comes out, and before the patch, I'm making a tier list. This is my mid-season tier list, and this is specifically for Asia. This is just kind of how I've experienced the meta. I'm currently top 20 on tank, and I've played a lot of games, seen a lot of tournaments, hosted a lot of tournaments as well, and just had one a couple days ago. So, this tier list is just based on my experience, looking at stuff, and assessing the meta situation in Asia right now. So, let's just have a look again here. We have Zamasu up here even, who's fallen off quite a bit, especially with Ride. Him having some more value with Ride, but not as much as before with the specific Zamasu build that was so popular that he got to S in Asia with the Art of Decoy. He's definitely fallen off now. A lot of the tanks, they've gotten more viable. Gotten more viable because of God Vegeta's drop. And yeah, let's just get into it. Let's just talk about the main characters that have become even stronger or have dropped off. Let's just talk about Base Ku first. He's always the first one I talk about. Give me a second. Anyway, let's just talk about Base Ku. He's definitely taken a bit of a dive just because there are, I think, better DPSs going on right now. And the fact is, like, the ranged meta is pretty huge at the moment. So he's not in Z tier anymore, but he's definitely still in S tier. Because in Asia, you pretty much always see a Base Ku farming and back. And while that is less common to see now, because of God Ku and 3 Ku, and Vegito still being as good as he is right now, Base Ku is still there. He has everything. He has speed, he has defense, he has attack, he has boss secure. He has everything that a character wants, and he does pretty well in every single one of them. He's just not like extremely good at one single thing, but that still makes him valuable as a character in Asia. And that's why a lot of top teams still pick him up. And in a tournament yesterday, we had a special rule set that's similar to the Squadra Blast 3rd stage and finals, where they had to pick different characters each time. We saw a lot of Base Ku play there. And he won a lot of matches too. So I will say he's still very strong. And alongside him, I'm gonna put Vegito. He's another character who's still really good. He hasn't gotten many changes. So, and he's only really gotten better. He's got a lot of good pals to play with, and he can work pretty well with every character in the game. He's just very strong, very good at fighting, and he has a decent emergency boss secure and has those iframes on ultimate. It's just very solid. Let's talk about some other characters. Let's talk about some tanks. I'm just gonna put almost all of these tanks in the same tier of S. Now, these are not going to be ordered. Let's find them. Bardock. I'm not ordering them in any specific way here. They're just tanks that all have their own niche right now, who are doing really well, that I want to talk about here and point out. Just Caulifla, good, has a wall that can block beams, and has a taunt that can redirect 3 Ku, very strong, and God Ku. Bardock always has strong CC, very powerful as well, good offense on skill 1 damage boost, and good mobility in skill 3, very good ultimate for pushing towers, and for doing some decent damage too and securing Kais. God Vegeta, very strong ultimate, very good CC, skill 3 always as annoying as it is. Cooler, very good anti-tank. He counters Bardock, he counters God Vegeta, he counters 4 Vegeta, and he can counter Vegito as well as the other dash-based characters with his skill 2. Very good skill 3 as well, and his ultimate's still always as strong. And Vegeta, very good in this meta because he counters two of the best DPSs in the game right now, Super Saiyan 3 and Godku to an extent. Now, Vegeta has that skill 3, and his ultimate is still decent at securing boss, very good at helping. And as a fast max, his kick is unreliable but still solid, and his on skill 1 damage boost, his skill 1 does a surprising amount of damage too. So not only can he counter opposing 3-Kus, but he can do a decent amount of damage on his own as well, and on defense. 3-Ku and Godku on Z tier just because they're very, very strong ranged characters. Godku, in terms of pure damage, is insane, and he has a very good ultimate. It's a AoE global ultimate. And 3-Ku, very strong. Global teleport with a Kamehameha or a Dragon Fist. That's usually enough to kill most people. And he's got a lot of range. He's got decent escape options in his skill 2, as well as his global teleport on skill 3, which if you teleport to an enemy is only 10 seconds. And these guys are just both good boss secures. Let's move on. Frieza. I've seen the other regions kind of underrating him. He's a DPS menace. You put him on triple red, he's melting down every single type of character in a skill 2, skill 1 combo and finishes it off with skill 3. Everyone's dead. Especially with Pursuer. You can change the middle card, but like to a barrier or something, but man, that skill 2, skill 1 is insane. It's been melting people like butter, and of course, he has very good zoning abilities with his wall and his other wall. His ulti is especially good at level 3, but I've seen most Friezas build just their skill 1, 2, and 3, and usually leave out their ult. Leave it at level 1 until about level 13. So, who knows? Maybe we'll see some different builds once he gets more changes down the line. Let's fill out the bottom here, and let's talk about some poor characters. I will say, I think a lot more characters are actually built up towards the A and B areas rather than just C, but I'll be a little harsher this time and put a couple more characters down here. Like Topo, Vegeta, these two are just down here at D tier in Asia. Just Vegeta's really, really difficult to use in Asia. There's too much range and very easy to lock down. Especially with Frieza, Kid Buu, Vegeta, Gogeta, etc. It's just too easy to break down. Let's have a look here. Broly, top of C. Too easy to range down. Has good moments, especially in the skill 1 damage boost with healing. Very good. Sometimes. Very situational. Deborum, down here as well. Not too many... there's not that many characters you can, like, really melt down. Like, you're not, like, fighting a Gogeta by yourself, or even with help. Like, you're just gonna get beamed down by a Godku, by a 3-Ku. You're just not gonna be able to secure any stones if you're just dead. Who else? Same here with Frieza. He's down at C tier now. He's just too easy to melt down all of his minions. Only his ult really has value, and it's just hard to use him. Everything just gets destroyed so quickly. Who else? I think that's all. Oh, right. Fat Buu. There's like only one good Fat Buu in Asia. I've heard he's very good in other regions, but Fat Buu just doesn't have that much of an impact in Asia. We don't fight that much, and when we do, the Fat Buu healing just isn't enough. His main value is in his ultimate right now. Just being able to candy and stun them for like about a second, or just eat them up and have your allies target him. That's his main value, and you don't see him too often because you can get caught really easily. Frieza, Kid Buu, and 17 with the anti-healing, especially on healing draw. Not that worth it anymore to pick up Fat Buu, especially with skill 2 cooldown gone. All right, I think that's the C tier filled out. Let's fill out the B and A's now. Go tanks. 17's very good with the healing draw. Because of the anti-heal, and also just very solid character all around. He's never left the A tier in my tier list. Gotenks is okay. Has his moments, definitely. His ultimate's still decent. Does good damage. Wish it was easier to hit. But yeah. Piccolo is alright. He's really, really hard to use effectively. But if you can, he's very, very strong. It's just there's ITs coming in. There's like similar range characters to him. You can get locked down by Frieza. You can get jumped by Vegito and Base Coup. Yeah, it's difficult to use him right now. Zamasu is down here. He's one of the tanks that didn't really get that much value from Ride compared to the other ones, and he doesn't have much better utility than the other tanks as well. Like, they all have their own niche up here. Whether it's a wall, a taunt and a wall, a taunt and a push, and big push, pull, root, stun, grab, that sort of thing. Like, he's just movement slow, and that's it. And being able to live forever. But even then, he just gets bursted out by range, and his like tower tapping isn't actually that much better than these guys anymore. It's a sad sight to see, but when you're literally a punching bag, it's kind of hard to run you. Gammas is down here just because they don't do enough damage. They like burst or like high damage DOTs. So you don't see much Gammas. Especially since like their main secure only comes out at 11. Who else? Bojack's at top of B. Bojack with healing draw, very, very good. He's just too easy to catch. But if you can keep up, if you can keep your range, if you can heal your allies well and quickly enough, you can do quite a lot of damage and destroy the game. And he's especially good late game. It's just his early game performance is quite poor. All right, let's who else do we talk about here? Let's talk about Daima, a character who was previously in Z tier, just like Base Coup, and he's fallen off pretty significantly post nerfs. I mean, he's at the bottom of A. Once I fill out the A tier, you'll see it more clearly, but Daima is not favored at all right now in Asia. His skill 3 doesn't have as much speed anymore. They don't like that, and his ultimate is a good secure. It's a very good secure. His ultimate is his best feature right now. And his bombs are alright. But his damage just isn't enough. Because everybody is beaming you down at range. Or you can take chunks out of people's health. And then run away just as quickly. Or if not, now faster than Daimaku with Base Coup. Or you stay in the fight and heal and out-heal everyone with Super Vegito. And his bulkiness. It's just not a favorable meta for Base Coup right now, who has awkward burst. Kid Gohan and Ultimate Gohan are both in A here. Gohan's buffs are still really good, just not as much utility as the other techs right now. Same with Ultimate Gohan, although to a lesser extent, his stun is still very solid. He's just a little bit difficult to use. Same as Piccolo, but if you can get the hang of the kicks, he's going to do very well. Sometimes very well against Frieza's because they can use their own walls against them. All right. Hit is also around here. Hit can be really good. I saw some decent tournament play by Takataka using Hit. His ultimate play was very good, but there's still the fundamental issues of his AoE just getting absolutely murdered by AoE. And post nerfs, this is even more true. Everyone and their mother has AoE to break his invis. It's really difficult to try and go for stuns. So he's become a much higher skill character, which is why he's an A, but he can definitely push himself up to like an S or high S kind of character. It just takes a lot more skill. And out the gate, a lot of these characters are easier and better and have more value to the team comps that are meta right now. Even though he has an energy defense down ult. It's just that like he's difficult to use and yeah, he's a bit too easily countered right now. Once there's less CC, well not CC, once there's less AoE in the meta, and we go back to a more strike base, maybe we'll see him come back. Who knows? All right, let's keep going with the A tier. There's actually a lot of characters in the A tier because I think they're all like really solid. They're not like the best, but they're very, very solid. I can say that about like most of the characters in Gekishin right now. They're very balanced. They're very like they're usable. They're usable. They're not bad at all, apart from these two. Kefla, huh? Top of B. Our damage is not reliable enough in Asia. It's really just the skill too, and the ulti is really hard to do like high damage anymore on enemy heroes. But she can still find a lot of value in her speed and being able to catch people and do decent bursts against like the squishier opponents. But outside of her skill 3, if you get caught by Frieza, you're dead. If you get caught by Vegito, like if you get chased down by a skill 2, you're dead. If you get hit once by anything from God Goku, you're dead. If you get hit by a 3Ku actually does kind of poorly against Kefla because the speed. So even if you TP, you can just run around and beat him up, but he still has Fist. And yeah, it's just a bit difficult to use her right now. I think in a more close range meta, she'll do a little better, but because there's just too much range and her mobility isn't enough, she's in the B tier right now in Asia. All right, we've got only a couple more characters to do. Cell is surprisingly good. He definitely needs a lot more skill, and I myself am not that skilled. I've seen some very good Cell players in Asia, and they've had like a new strategy where they go top and do a 3-man up there to get more energy charge. But Cell, with these ride buffs, has gotten so strong, especially early game, because now he can actually dismiss and retain his charge without giving his opponent anything. No snowballs, no XP, nothing. So he's gotten a lot more value, and his ultimate is still just as good because every single one of these ultimates right here, that second half of this one is her attacks from this one. Bojack's attacks, everything is energy based. Except Kid Ku, who's decent right now. This new character is alright. He's the reason why he's not like insane at the moment is just because his skill 3 is bugged and the consistency is really, really poor on his like support. And his ultimate's still very strong, don't get me wrong, but he isn't doing that much for the team, and he's very selfish at the moment because his skill 3 is broken. So until they fix his bugs, he's just gonna be pretty good. But once that skill 3 is buffed, like I said, not buffed, his skill 3 is fixed, he's definitely going in the S tier minimum. He's very strong. His skill 2 hits like a freight train. His ultimate hits like a nuke. It's very, very strong. But the consistency is the issue here, and his dashes are they have a learning curve. I myself am not very good at them. I've seen some very good players on Kid Ku. They've just only complained about that skill 3 being terribly, terribly inconsistent. And that's why they're like, they don't want to use him too much. So until that gets fixed, he's in the A tier. I'm assuming they're going to fix it this Wednesday when Bulma drops. Hopefully they fix it. Because alongside those buffs that he does not need. Because then he'll truly be great. And maybe move into the Z tier. Alright, let's talk about Kale here. Kale, very strong. Good on heal, especially good on healing draw. Very good burst. Can secure bosses on her own, especially with Epic Hunter on skill 3, skill 2. And then skill 1. Massive amounts of damage there. Just kind of poor escape tools. And especially at like a even closer range than Godku. Her escape tools are lacking, which makes her very hard to use. And her ultimate just is hard to get value out of unless you're in a perfect situation. Like, if you try to ult and jump into 2 or 3 people, you're just going to get melted down without proper support. And even with proper support, if they just focus you down, it's gone. Or they just ult you once, and then you've lost all of your entire ultimate, and you've taken a ton of damage. It's just hard to it's hard to use her in this meta. Trunks is A tier. That's because he's hard to use, but also just he's a very good character that has like these exploitable flaws that characters like Baseku, Super Vegito that just don't really have compared to Trunks. Like, his cooldowns are a bit longer. He has very high burst. He's good at secures, but he's very, very squishy and easier to catch. Easy to catch without his skill 2. He's just, if he doesn't have his skill 2, he's a fish. He's gone. Oob doesn't have this problem. Oob is very easy, very hard to catch, but and a very consistent damage. But his only burst is in his ultimate, and other than that, he doesn't have that many other. He doesn't really have secures. He's very good at fighting. He's very good at doing damage. Just not as squishy as Trunks, but still squishy. And he, even though he's a range character, he doesn't have the same range as Godku or 3Ku. I duo with Inoob, and I think that he is not the best character that we can use, but he's definitely still a very, very solid character that in the right hands can do insanely well, especially with that ultimate level 3. You can send out a miracle ult and it could wipe the entire team or contribute to a wipe, and it can win you games. It can win you games. So I think these guys all have the motion to move up to S. It's just about how these buffs and nerfs come in on Wednesday. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Krillin. Krillin. Please buff him. Why is he so bad? They buffed him like earlier this season. They buffed his the arming time of the explosion time of the bombs. They buffed his skill 3. How is it not enough? Why? Okay, his bombs get destroyed instantly. His skill 3 does no damage without marked, which you can only do with Shu, meaning you're forced to pick Shu as your helper instead of a different helper that's more helpful, like Bulla or like Korin. And his skill 2 is too easy to counter here. You just look away. Boom, no more. No marks, no flash, no blind, no shrink view, nothing. Your ult relies entirely on having debuffs on the enemy. Does no damage without 3 or more. And because you can't pick something like Goten / Farmer with Shotgun to get more debuffs, because you can't hit your skill 2s that easily, you're never getting those debuffs. His ultimate does no damage to an enemy hero. Maybe only the boss. What does he do? This skill 3 does no damage unless you're marked. They need to buff him somehow. He's so annoying to use compared to the other techs. Frieza gives more value because his ultimate much better, and his tower defense capabilities are still pretty solid early to mid game and even sometimes late game with the right opponents, or if you play really well at managing your minions. Fat Boo has healing, has that ultimate, and can push people around. Good tower defense, and his skill 1 is very good. Gohan, lots of buffs, has a stun, has another stun, has defensive abilities. Ulton, bunch of stuns, has debuffs. Hit, has debuffs, can stun, can do damage like a DPS. 17, can heal, well not heal, gives overheal, gives shield, gives anti-heal to any enemy team, gives a ton of shield, has a stun, can reverse enemy buff effects. What else? Kid Buu, C tier, slows, debuffs, def down, attack down, more defense down, a grab with a stun. He has everything. What does Krillin do? Frieza, a root with massive damage, a wall that pushes people away and can't be bypassed by most mobility and dashes, a wall that can block damage from skills that are supposed to damage it, because he's bugged as well, he's broken as well. What does Krillin do? They need to give him something, man. He's just too difficult to use. And finally, I'm not talking about Bulma because she's not released yet, but Baby. Of course, Baby is in Baby tier. There's no question. There's no question that Baby is in Baby tier. And that's our list. Yeah. Baby is the best character in the game, you know. All right. Baby is probably realistically like around S tier. Same with the other tanks. I think, or even like if you really want to push it, you can put him in like top A. But I actually think he's quite solid right now. If you have the right skills, and if your DPS is suitable, like if you're playing with a Vegito or even a base Ku, and if you have a Kid Buu, you can even play with Frieza. You can play with Oob. You can play with Kid Ku. You can play with Trunks is difficult, but yeah, you can play with these like brawler characters or closer range, and you can really put in the work. You do quite amount of damage. Quite an amount. If you do Snowball and if you do Prepare to Die, you can finish off opponents really well alongside your DPS. And the healing is quite substantial, especially the post early season 4 buffs and I think the mid season 4 buffs as well. Like the Baby is really good. And his skill too it does an okay amount of damage. It does an okay amount of damage, but really that cooldown reduction getting buffed, it's massive. You can almost immediately get back your skill 3 if you hit like 3 opponents a bunch in like a normal fight. And with that strike defense down, you're not going to fall that easily. And the ultimate, very good for securing Kais. It's at around 45-second cooldown. Those maxes coming in, especially later in the game, are going to be huge. He's just very solid. No notes. He's a bit squishy early game, but if you play around it and you're able to secure your snowballs, your DPS is just not gonna die, or at least at minimum, you're not gonna die. And if you can possess a couple bodies, you're getting a lot of value from the enemy's ultimates as well and their skills. So yeah, I think he's sitting pretty solidly in the S tiers alongside the other tanks. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of my list? Do you guys agree with it? What do you guys think if you're from NA or EU or South America? Do you guys have a similar kind of meta going on right now? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this is my mid-season tier list for season 5. About a couple days before Bulma. We'll see at the end of the season, especially after Blast, when I make that tier list. We'll see how the meta shapes. But for now, I'll see. This is Pokey. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.